there, friends. This is Shelley from Koala Knits and Knacks. And do I ever have a beautiful beanie for you? I am using Loops and Threads Flecks yarn. It is an acrylic blend, 79 acrylic, 21 polyester, and it looks and feels glorious. You're gonna love this yarn. I'm so excited about it. I do have a cardigan on my channel, a hooded one that I use this yarn with in a different color, but I thought let's grab some and make a beanie or two or three. There's going to be a couple more on my channel, so watch for them. And maybe they're there already when you are looking at this video, so you have to check. Anyways, I am using the colors Deco Rose, Pink Granite, and Rainbow, and they look beautiful together. We're going to use our 46 needle ADDI, but you can use your SENTRO if you like, not a problem. And friends, I am going to show you all the different ways you can wear this because it's a reversible beanie. You can wear it with the brim up on both sides, or you can wear it with the brim down on both sides for a slouchy beanie with no fold up brim. So it's absolutely beautiful. You got the options to remove your pom-poms and change those out as well. So I hope you enjoy this tutorial. I ask you a question in the middle somewhere or near the end, I can't remember. I'd like you to answer in the comments. You'll know when you get there. All right, so thanks again for joining me. I really am happy to bring you this tutorial, and I hope you love it just as much as I do. All right, friends, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. Let's get started on this beautiful beanie. All right, my sweet friends, are you ready? We are going to bring our last white and our first black in line with our yarn guide, just like that. We're going to take our first color, which for me is Pink Granite. Now there's little pink flecks in there and white flecks, but this base color is like a mid-tone green, and it's absolutely beautiful. That's the Granite color. So Pink Granite. We're going to cast on with the drawstring cast on, going in front of that first black, behind, in front, behind, in front, and behind, all the way around. You're going to let that yarn slip through your fingers. Don't put any tension on it. Just what you need to hold it in place to get it behind and in front, but no extra tension. Before we get to the end, we're going to set our counter to 0, so it's all ready to go. And it should be behind that last white one, just like that. Into your yarn feeder it goes. Shut the latch. I hold my yarn in between my fingers like that at the base, just so that there's very, very little to no extra tension. I can just feel if the tension is tight coming out of my ball, or if there's a knot, or if I'm at the end of the yarn tail, and catch it before I make a mistake. Okay, so we are going to slowly knit that first row. Because there's no weight pushing those loops down over the red teeth, that's why you have to go slow the first and even the second and third row. Don't step on your yarn like what I was just doing, and you should be good. It's split right there. Did you see that? Because I didn't get very far, I'll show you what I can do. I'm gonna find my yarn pick. Now here's a tip for you. I've got to put that back over the red teeth, just like that. I'm gonna back that up just ever so slightly and get that split piece underneath there. And then I'm gonna continue on. Now with this yarn, I'm remembering now because I made a cardigan, a hooded cardigan with this yarn, but in a different shade. It's a grayish shade. You should go look for that on my clothing playlist. It's absolutely beautiful. Absolutely love it. I'm glad winter's coming here because now I can pull it out and wear it again. But anyways, I'm remembering now that this yarn likes to split just a little bit. So once we get a few rows on here so that there's some weight, then what we're going to do is when you have yarn that splits easily, you have to put a bit more tension on it. So you're going to either squeeze your fingers or you're going to put this up to here, and that gives it more tension. The reason why we need more tension is because if it's too loose, that little tip of that needle then gets on top of this strand and splits the yarn. If it's tighter, it doesn't have a chance to do that because by tightening it, we're pushing it farther back against that back of that needle. And so then you won't have as many opportunities to split your yarn. So that's why we want to put a little bit tighter tension when we're using yarn that splits easily. And I do not suspect I will have any problems. Now we can just keep going. You're going to find the tension and the speed that your yarn and your material, your yarn and your machine like together. And so with this yarn, honestly, you put medium tension on it and you can go quite fast actually, because I know our machine loves this yarn. And I'm going to keep going till I get 50 rows, 50. Okay, so of this granite, pink granite color, we're going to do 50 rows. Keep going and I'll see you when we get there. There we go, just finishing row 50. I put my last white, first black in front of my yarn guide there. We're going to do a color change. So we're going to cut that pink, what was it called? Well, you know what it was called because I said it earlier, but I can't remember. Pink something or other. We're going to open our latch. We're going to pop this tail between the last white and the first black. Then we're going to take our rainbow. This one is called, this one, let me just double check. Oops. This one is called Soft Rainbow. Oh, it's so pretty. This other one was called Pink Granite. How did I forget that? Soft Rainbow. We're going to pop that into our yarn guide just like that. It's in between the last white and the first black. But we're going to do a jogless join. So we're going to take that yarn tail, move it to the other side of that white needle. Make sure it's under the nook of that needle. You're going to hold both of those tails. You're going to knit 4 or 5 needles. Then you're going to take that rainbow one and you're going to take both ends. You're going to help any yarn that's over these red dividers underneath. Then you're going to pull these 2 yarn tails away from each other. What that does is it tightens up our yarn tension right in the beginning of these stitches, so you don't have a loose tension here and then tighter tension going forward. We're going to knit 7 rows of this color, taking us to row 57, but on the 3rd row, we're going to stop and tie our jogless join, and you'll want to watch how I do that, okay? So let's knit 3. That's 1. This is 2. And 3 of 7. We're going to click on row 4 and go a little past it. And then we're going to take these 2 yarn tails and we're going to fix our jogless join. You can do this on the machine or off the machine. For this particular project, we're going to do it while it's on the machine. So you're going to take these 2 tails and you're going to gently pull them away from each other. You will feel when it falls into place. And when it does, you're going to take these 2, you're going to tie a knot. Don't tighten this one too tight or you'll pull in here again. You're going to tighten the second one. And then you can cut these off. That jogless join is finished and taken care of. And what we've done is when we knit in the circular, when we come around, our rows always go on top of one another, just like that. We've taken that first and that last stitch there, and we have now brought them in line like this. So when you have your project off your machine and you're looking at your rows, they're not jogged like that. It's jogless. It's now in line like that, and it's a miracle, and it's beautiful. So we are going to keep going. This is the 4th row. And 5, row 55. I am having a habit of stepping on my yarn. What is going on? 56. And 1 more. Make sure that you don't have tight tension coming out of your ball. 57. Watching for that black divider to come around, which I need to redo right here. We're going to stop that in front of our yarn guide, and we are going to cut our yarn, open our latch, pop it between the last white and the first black. When that's done, we're going to take our 3rd color, which is called Deco Rose. We're going to pop that into our yarn guide, pop our tail between the last white, the first black. We're going to swing this around the other side of our white needle for a jogless join. Make sure it doesn't split. See how that was going to split? Well, you probably can't see, but I'm telling you, it was going to split, so you want to make sure that it doesn't. You're going to knit 4 or 5 needles. You're going to help those little loops under the red dividers. Take both tails, pull it away from each other. And for this particular one, we're going to only knit 2 rows. So we're not going to tie that jogless join quite yet. We're going to go 1, and 2. There we go. I'm stopping that divider in front of my yarn guide right there. I'm going to cut off my pink, set that aside. Let's take care of this jogless joint. I like to do 3 or 4 rows before we do, but I don't want to get all these ends in the way here. So we're going to take these two, gently pull them away from each other, and tie a knot. Cut those off. You're going to open our latch, pop that into the center between the last white, the first black. Then we're going to take our pink Granite again. Okay, that one that's like a mid-tone green. Pop that into our yarn feeder, around to the other side of that white needle, hold both tails, knit 4 or 5 needles, help those down under the dividers, pull away from each other, 2 rows. That's 1 and 2. We are going to cut that pink Granite. We're going to take those 2 tails from the previous, what we just did, okay? We're going to pull them away from each other. You can even hear it falling into place. So just go slowly. You'll hear it, you'll feel it, and you'll do wonderful. Tie your knot. Cut that off. Open your latch. Pop that pink Granite into the center between the last white and the first black. And we're going to grab our pink again, Deco Rose. We're going to pop that into there. We're going to swing that around the other side of our needle. We're going to knit 4 or 5 needles. We're going to help those down under the dividers. Boop, 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 boop. Pull away. We are going to knit 2 rows. Just like that. We're going to cut our pink, open our latch. Did we? Take these 2 here. We're going to do our jogless join fix, pull away, tie a knot. We are working on the 1/2 of our brim right now. And then we're going to pop that Deco Rose into the center. Doesn't need to be that long. Into the center. We are going to take our rainbow color again, which is our white. I'm going to do a recap of all the row counts as soon as we're done our white here, okay? Into the yarn feeder, other side of that white needle for a jogless join, knit 4. Oops, see how that missed that one? I wasn't pulling it tight enough, but I didn't get far enough that it's going to matter. So I'm going to back that up, pulling those loops back down underneath that, over those red teeth, and I'm going to go back in here and we're going to hope for the best. So watch those loops, make sure you didn't back up too far. And I didn't. See, the loops are in there. I'm going to just fix that just like that, okay? I'm going to knit 7 rows. So 1. On the 3rd row, I'll tighten, 3rd or 4th. 2. 3. 4. 5. Oops, I forgot my jogless join. Don't forget that. Let's do it now. This is 6. I'm going to take these 2, pull them apart, tie off, cut, and 7. Watching for that black divider to come around, I take a black permanent marker and I mark it, and this one needs to be done again. And there we go. We have now completed 70 rows of our beanie, which means that this is our 50 rows of our first color. Then we did 7 rows of white, 2 rows, I should do it over here so you could see. We did 50 rows of our base color. Then we did 7 rows of white, 2 rows of the pink, 2 rows of the green, 2 rows of the pink, 7 rows of the white. So this is the main body of our beanie on one side. This is the brim. This will be the brim that folds over onto the other side that we do actually. And so our brim, the first half is 20 rows in width. Now I just posted a video that tells you how many rows you need for every size beanie, whether it be a beanie with a fold-up brim or one that doesn't have a fold-up brim. Make sure you go look for that, and then you'll understand why we do what we do with row counts, okay? So this, again, is one side of our beanie, the main body. This is half of our brim. Now we're going to work on the other half of the brim. All right, so we did, for this half, we did white, pink, green, pink, white. Now we're going to start the beginning of the other side of the brim. We're going to do 7 rows of white. So 7 more rows until your counter says 77. There we go. That's the end of the 7th row. So 14 rows in total, but the 7 rows of the other half of our brim. We're going to cut that white one, open our latch, pop this into the center between the last white, the first black. We did pink, green, pink here. We're going to do the opposite. We're going to go green, pink, green. So you're going to take your pink granite, you're going to pop it into your yarn feeder. You're going to sweep it around the other side for a jogless join. You're going to knit 4 or 5 needles. You're going to help that down. You're going to pull away from each other. You're going to knit 2 rows. Watching for that black divider to come around. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to fix my jogless join. I'm going to cut my yarn tail, open my latch, pop that in between, grab my pink. I'm going to do a jogless join, knit 4 needles, tighten my tension. I'm going to knit 2 rows of this. Then I'm going to tie off my jogless join. Then I'm going to switch colors back to the green, do 2 more rows, repeat the process. And once you have your 2 rows of green done, I will see you back. So now I'm going to do 2 rows of pink, 2 rows of green. All right, just to recap, we finished our second set of 7, here's 14 together, but for the other side of our brim, we've done 7 white, 2 green, 2 pink, 2 green, those are the colors I'm going to call them. Now we're going to, and I've tied off all my jogless joins, I'm going to cut that green, open my latch, put this between the last white, the first black. Your row counter should be on 83. I'm going to click on to 84 in just a moment. You're going to pop your white, your rainbow color back into there. We're going to do a jogless join. If this is too fast for you, friends, up in the top right-hand corner of your screen, you can click there and a gear will come up and you can click on that gear, then you can slow this down and watch it again so that you're able to learn this jogless join if you are new. We're going to knit 7 rows. I'm going to do my jogless join tie off right away. That was row 3. Just clicked on row 4. Pull it, tie it, tie it, cut it. This is row 88. 89 and 90. Watching for that black divider to come around, I will stop it in front of my yarn guide. We're going to pick up our project. Once it starts to touch the table, you want to pick it up and roll it into a donut. Otherwise, when it touches the table, it just starts to buckle up like this, and you could drop a loop off of your little red teeth and drop your row, and that would be very sad. Then you'd be in my Facebook group saying, oh, my row dropped, how do I fix it? Which I do have a video for, by the way, so I can help you out if that happens. Don't stress. But we're going to roll that up every time it gets a little bit longer, and it also puts nice tight tension around the inside of the barrel here. It helps those loops to fall down over the red teeth. It's just the way to go. We're going to cut off, no, we are not going to cut off that white, because now we have finished our one side, whether let's call it the inside of our beanie. We've finished our inside, our outside brim and our inside brim, because this half that's attached to this is going to be folded over and will essentially be the brim for the other side. Now, if that's confusing to you, let's just take it back and make it a little bit simpler. We've finished the inside body of our beanie. We've finished our 40 row brim. Now we've got to work on the other side of our beanie, the body part of our beanie. We're going to start by knitting 20 rows of this white. We need 50 rows in total, but when we fold our brim over, it's going to cover 20 rows. So we're going to just make that white. So let's do 20 rows of this white, taking us to row 110 on our counter. So go for 20 rows till you get to 110 on your counter. Just finishing up my last row. There we go. I'm going to cut that white yarn, the rainbow. We're going to open our latch. We are going to put that in between the last white and the first black. And we're going to do, instead of doing a solid color like we did, the one side is going to be that solid green with our folded up brim on top of that. And this other side is going to have some striping in it. So we're going to do a patterning. Don't be scared. Just follow along what I'm doing. Back it up, write the row counts, and you will have no problem. So for this one, we're going to take our pink, pop that in. Let's do a jogless join. Knit 4 needles, or 5. Help those down, pull away. We're going to knit 8 rows. So till our counter says that we are on row 118, and we're going to finish row 118. But I'm going to knit 3 rows and then tie off my jogless join. This is 3. See how beautiful this yarn works in our machine? It's just wonderful. Pull away from each other. I heard that and felt that fall into place. Give that a tie and a tie. Cut it off. Continue till you have 8 rows. And one more. Watching for that black divider to come around, I'm going to stop it in front of my yarn guide. All right, friends, I'm going to tell you the next 2 row counts. We're going to cut off that pink, open our latch. We're going to pop that between the last white and the first black. And I'm just double checking my chart here. We're going to take our green color, pop that into our yarn feeder. Let's do a jogless join, knitting 4 or 5 needles. I try to do only 4. Pull that away. We are going to knit 3 rows of green. Then we are going to do a jogless join, and we're going to knit 2 rows of pink. Okay, so 3 rows. I'm looking at my chart before I'm talking to you to make sure that I'm getting this right. 3 rows of green, change your color, do 2 rows of pink. When you have those done, I'll see you back. 3 rows of this green, 2 rows of pink. All right, we got that done. We're going to cut off our pink tail, open our latch, pop this tail between the last white, the first black. We are going to grab our white, which is our rainbow, pop that in. We're going to do a jogless join. We're going to knit 4 needles. We're going to help that down. We're going to pull away, and we are going to knit 3 rows of white. After we are done our 3 rows of white, we're going to tie off our jogless join. Then we're going to knit 2 rows of pink. Okay, so now we're doing 3 rows of white, then 2 rows of pink. I'm going to stick with you as we finish up here. We're going to cut off that pink. We're going to pop that into the center between the last white and the first black. We are going to take our green, pop that in there, jogless join, make sure it doesn't split. And we're going to knit 3 rows of green. 1, 2, and 3, which will take us to row 131. Well, this is row 131 that we are currently on. And there we go. We've just finished row 131. We're going to tie off that join. Cut this off. You're going to then cut your green. Open your latch. Pop that in between the last white and the first black. You're going to then take, let's see what color, your pink. Almost grabbed the wrong color. We're going to take our pink. We're going to pop it in. We're going to do a jogless join. We're going to knit 4 needles. We're going to help that down. We're going to pull away from each other. We are going to knit 9 rows. That will take us to row 140. After the next row, I will tie off my jogless join. Friends, do not forget, because once you have your hat assembled and then you think, oh, I forgot to do my jogless join, you have to dig for those ends, tie it off, and then put them back. And that's not fun. So trust me, I know. And I'm going to keep going here until I have row 140. So that was 9 rows of this pink. Just finishing off row 140, friends. That's it. Well, it's not it, but that's it for color changes and rows. Let me grab my needle here. We are going to remove our project. I want you to cut off a tail that's long enough to go around your barrel twice. And that should be long enough. Open your latch. Make sure that this tail goes between the last white and the first black, because we still have to finish knitting this one and we have to knit this one. If you put it here, you're going to get a hole in your project, and that won't be fun either. So we're going to pop that in between the last white and the first black. Make sure you close your latch or it will risk being broken when you turn your barrel, or you'll break a needle. Thread that needle. We're going to do the drawstring cast off. So I'm going to turn my handle. You see those needles drop down, so now these stitches are able to come off. There's no tension, or there's no slack back here yet, so you can only take 1 or 2 off at a time at first. Pull straight out to the side here. Don't pull up, because if you pull up too hard, you're going to pull this loop off those red teeth and drop your row. Keep turning. Pick up your stitches. Pull straight out to the side and keep going. I designed this beanie on paper, and I haven't seen one yet with this yarn, so I am going to be surprised just as you are. That's what I do. I have a notebook and I create my projects. Then for bigger projects like amigurumi and different things, I have to make one to make sure that I've got my row counts and everything right. And then I make another one with you. But for beanies like this, I just draw them out in my book and then I present them to you. Then we make them together. So I'm excited to see what this one looks like. Again, check out the hooded sweater that I have on my channel using this yarn. Maybe you're going to want to make a sweater and a matching beanie. How nice would that be? We are almost done. There we go. Friends, we have our beanie off the machine. I'll be right back. All right, here we go. Let's take this beautiful piece and with great anticipation, let's unravel it. It is so soft. Oh, just so soft. Okay, our jogless joins have straightened out our lines. You just have to play with them a little bit to stretch into place because we tied them while they were on the machine. When you have them off the machine, it's a little bit easier, but either way works. You get a nice straight join and it's perfect. Okay, you don't see any of these jogs. Look how straight that is. Look how straight that is. It's beautiful, friends. Okay, we want you to, or I want you to stretch, stretch, stretch. And you know, this yarn is, let me just check here for you. 79% acrylic and 21% polyester. It is so soft. This is, you're gonna love this. If you are watching this video and thinking, should I go buy some of this yarn? My answer to you is yes. Don't walk, run, go get some. Okay, we're going to take any end, either end. We're going to pull on that tail. And we're going to smooth it out as we pull because we're cinching it. We don't want it all gathered. We want it nice and smooth and beautiful. Just like that. You can cut this off so it's easier to work with. You're going to take your needle and we are going to just reinforce that top. Just by picking up that top row of stitches all the way around and pulling. And I'm getting under there. And I'm pulling. A little bit further. Doesn't have to be extremely tight because you still want to get your crochet hook in there to pull your pom-pom on. It's almost all the way closed, but I have a little bit of a space there. I'm going to just pick up 1 or 2 strands here. Tie off in a knot, push that knot down with my thumbnail. Then I'm going to put my hand into my beanie, pop that needle in through that center, grab it with my hand so I don't snag the inside of my work. I'm going to bring that with that end through my piece to the other side. Pull that, tug on it a bit to get that knot to the inside. Then we're going to do the same with this other side. Smoothing out the top as we go. Making sure that this tail stays out. We're going to cut this off to make it a little bit easier to work with, and we're going to reinforce around the top just like we did the other side. Just picking up that top row of stitches and pulling. Smoothing that out so you can get under there. And pulling. And one more little section is good. Once you have that through, you can then take this inside one, pull up on it so it's right up close to this outside one. You're going to take these 2 tails. You're going to not pull so hard that you snap them because you don't realize how strong you actually are, and it's not hard to snap this. That's the second one. That's the third. I'm going to then take these 2. I'm going to cut them the same length so they're easier to hide. Pop them back onto my needle, into that stitch in between my work. So in between the 2 layers is where you're going to put this. Pull it out and cut it off. Oh, you guys, this is so pretty. Then you're going to put your hand on the inside and you're going to smooth it all out, making sure your rings don't snag the inside. And then you're going to fold up the brim. Oh, looks like a big white section, but it's going to be covered, and you're going to see there is our brim from the other side. You guys, isn't that absolutely gorgeous? Like, I'm so thrilled with it. Seriously, I could jump up and down right now. This is you want to see the other side? Like, this is so pretty. And if you could feel it, it's glorious. Oh, look at that green. Look at that green. So pretty. You guys, this would make a beautiful slouchy beanie. Wouldn't it? Like, seriously. Don't roll that up. Wear that as a slouchy beanie. And if you want to roll it up, just how I designed it, there you go. That's the other side. Isn't it beautiful? Oh, you guys, I'm so happy about this. Turned out absolutely wonderful. Just a little tip, guys, when it's on the other side. Let me just do this again. Because there's such a wide thing of pink here, or pardon me, of white here, you want to make sure, here's where our 20 row count. So this is 20 rows, that's 20 rows, and that's what made the 40. That's where you want to make sure you fold your brim. Then it sits nice and it looks better. That's how it was meant to be. Okay, you don't want to have this way down here and then have a huge white section there. I mean, you can if you want a little bit slouchier, but we designed it so that our brim is 20 rows. It's 40 rows in total, but when you fold it, it's 20, and then it sits up in its rightful place and your design falls into place where it should. All right, so just a little tip for that. Now what I'm gonna do is, you know that if you watch my channel and you see my beanies, you know that I love pumpkins, and I use them on all my beanies. They're for removable pom-pom makers or removable pom-poms, but I found these on, and I do still love them, and you can find them on any of my other videos, but I also love these. I saw these on Amazon and I thought they were so pretty, I had to have them. So I'll link those in the description box below. But I have these two pom-poms. They're on a pen because I took them upstairs and I blow dried them on high heat for 15 seconds because then it makes them look glorious. Okay, and as I put them on my pen to blow dry them, I thought, hey, why don't we put two pom-poms in? So I'm going to try that and see what it looks like. Let me grab my crochet hook. I want to do the other side. I'm in love with this side. I'm going to pop this through the center there. Maybe this one's too big. Maybe I tightened it too tight. There we go. And up through the center there. And you'll see that one pom-pom is going to look gorgeous. I'm going to try to, just for fun. Just for fun. I didn't shut off my iPad. It's beside me. Sorry for that little bell. But hey, it's life. There we go. I got my two little things through there. I'm going to take my new little pom-pom holders. I don't know if they're going to both fit on this one little thing. Okay, I've never done two, so this is like something I'm trying just with you, but here we go. Let's, it's tight because there's two, but we're gonna fight for this. There we go, see? I got that on my little pom holder. We're going to roll this up. What do you think? I kill myself sometimes. There we go. Like or not like, tell me in the comments, okay? Please tell me. I want to know. If you like two pom-poms, let me know. But I'm traditional, so I'm going to take this off. That was just like a whim. I thought, wonder what it would look like. But I'm going to take one of them off, leave the other one on. I don't know which one I took off. It's going to be a surprise. Pull, pull, pull. Oh, took the pink one off. And we're going to see. You tell me what you think. I'm traditionalist. I love this green one. I think that looks absolutely beautiful. Now, if we were to take it off, put the pink one on. There we go. I absolutely love it. I think it's gorgeous. I'm going to show you the other side with both colors. Magic of camera. 1 second. There's the pink. So pretty. White would look beautiful on this side. And there's the green. Oh, you guys, I'm in love. I'm in love. I think it looks great with both color pom-poms. I think it looks great without the pom-poms. I think it looks great as a slouchy beanie, just like that. Even on this side would be awesome with rolling down the brim. And yeah, I just give it a thumbs up. This yarn is awesome. Okay, my sweets, that's it. Please, please, please show me your beanies in my Facebook group. They have quite a few colors in this yarn, so choose your favorites, make a beanie, and show us all in my Facebook group. I'll have the link to that group down below if you're not a part of it already. So friends, I just want to say thank you once again for joining me. I can't wait to see you in the next tutorial. Take care and have a blessed day.